Welcome back, everybody. If you are listening to this podcast, we are on vacation.
Heck yeah.
So this has been pre-recorded because we usually do these pretty close to the time of when they come out.
Yeah.
But it's our birthday month. And so to celebrate, we're going on vacation for 3 weeks. So
It's still a little crazy. It's been this long.
it is
3 years.
not our personal birthdays.
No.
Well, it was my personal birthday,
It was.
actually.
It was the beginning of this month.
We kind of glossed right over that. Well, it's hard to celebrate your birthday when you're planning like a big 3-week vacation. So, yes, $1 Million Landscaper is 3 years old this month. We launched 3 years ago. And if you had told us then where we would be now, I would not have believed you.
No.
Because it has been an amazing
We got to
ride.
meet so many awesome people and talk to so many awesome people. Like I didn't like that. Never really crossed my mind when we're doing this and talking about doing this. No,
When we
so-
first started, I thought it would just be me and you
Yeah.
and just kind of like talking about like, here's what happened to us and here's
Yeah.
how we can help. But those amazing relationships that have come out of it
Yeah.
has been a
It's
pleasant
awesome.
surprise.
Yeah.
I've had to grow a lot because I'm a natural little introvert that I just don't tend to come out of my little.
I'm proud of you.
I know and I'm still working on it. So if you are an introverted business owner, just keep with it. It's a skill you can practice. So I tend to just hide in my little turtle shell a lot, but it has really forced me to, just network, I guess, a little more, and come out of that shell a little bit.
Yeah.
So
No, it's been an awesome ride so far, and we've learned a lot. We've learned.
and I'm
this-
so excited for the years to come.
Oh yeah.
Like it's only just going to get better.
Oh yeah. Well, we're getting into the groove of things, and we're starting to see. Oh man, I could do this, and we could do this, and we could do this.
Well, starting an online business is not the same as owning a landscaping company, so we had a lot to learn. So there's more opportunities than we ever thought were possible. So anyway, thank you all for being a part of that. Thank you for listening. That is why we're here. This is why
Thank
we're
you for
doing
being
it.
here. We appreciate it. We love it. We love hearing your responses and what people have said.
We do. So thank you. But on that note, we're getting out of here. No, we're going on vacation. So yes, like we said, if you're listening, we are on vacation. We're probably in Wyoming right now. It's gonna be great. We're doing the epic out west trip. Gonna hit like Tetons, Yellowstone, then we'll head over to South Dakota. Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse, Custer.
This has been
all
like
that.
a dream vacation for us for a long time. So
We
it's been,
tried to go on the South Dakota portion of this
We
trip
did.
in 2016 and totaled our truck and camper before we left our city. We got on the
we're still
highway. I don't know what happened. It was like crazy. Scott was driving because we were going with my sister and her family. My brother-in-law woke up with a migraine, so Scott was pulling their camper, driving their truck
Yep.
with my brother-in-law and their 2 kids. I was pulling our camper. We had a smaller camper at the time. We pulled it with a Ford Expedition. So I was pulling our camper and I had my sister and my 2 kids with me in the Expedition. And we don't really know. I don't know what happened. It was like in a blink of an eye. We were driving. Got on the highway, and you know if you've pulled a trailer, when you all of a sudden start to feel a little wiggle and a shake. I felt it. I looked up at the trees. I can see they were sugar maple leaves. I can see the leaves. I'm like, is it windy? And so it was me. I looked up at the trees to see if it was windy. I had let off and slowed down. In the 0.2 seconds that it took to do that, we were in the wall. It had the concrete medians there. It was crazy. It was a crazy accident. We jackknifed. I was all over that road. By the grace of God, there were no semis.
Yeah, we
Or
got
nobody. It was early in the morning on a Saturday, so by the grace of God, there was nobody because it was insane. There's nothing like we literally folded in half. I looked over to the right and I saw the trailer coming at us, and the only thing I could think is oh my gosh, my son is sitting right there. Nick was right there, but somehow I was crazily able to pull it out. I got it straight. It was just I don't know. So we have just now got back up to okay, we're gonna go. So then because we didn't have a camper for a while because it totaled the truck, it totaled the camper. It was crazy. Even the state police officer, he could see our skid marks and everything, and he's like how did you pull out of this? How did you not wreck? But
Her skills, mad skills.
oh no, I don't even think it was my mad skills. Sometimes just some other power takes over. Call it God, call it whatever you want. Something else took over. We made it out fine. But anyway, so we didn't have a camper for a while, and then we didn't go on any big trips for a while. I had a little bit of PTSD, I'm not going to lie. I had a hard time riding in the car with the camper because anytime I'd feel that wind or something, you just start sweating. So it was a little crazy. So we're going to go out to South Dakota, or not South Dakota. We're going to start with Wyoming, then we'll go to South Dakota, and I'm probably not going to drive.
Right. This one's a much bigger camper.
This is a bigger camper. We've got a 3/4 ton diesel now, so that makes a difference as well. But I will pull the camper again someday. I don't know if it's going to be on this trip. I thought maybe if I did, it would be like in Nebraska or somewhere.
Straight and flat.
It's just straight and flat down a highway where there's minimal things involved.
We'll see.
We'll see. I'm not against it, but I feel like I'm probably to the point to where I would pull, because I've pulled trailers since then, but nothing quite as big. I've pulled like landscaping trailers with like a gator or a mower or something on it, but I haven't pulled the camper since. So anyway, there's a fun story for you. Anyway, so we're going on vacation. While we're gone, Laura Reale of Landscape Marketing Secrets is going to be taking over. So she'll be commenting a lot in Landscaping Business Owners. That's our free Facebook group. She will be in there. So hit her up with your questions.
She's always in there too. Just every Monday.
She's always in there.
She's in there a lot. She does a lot for the moderator, or as a moderator. But she's also there every Monday night at 8. I should double check.
I think it's
8 p.m. Eastern time.
7 our time.
Yeah, 8 Eastern time, and she's always giving a little marketing tip. So she's full of information. So take advantage of that. Hit her up. That's what she's in the group for. She's there to help everyone. So
she is. She's going to kind of hold down the fort while we're gone. She's going to be holding down the fort inside the $1 Million Academy as well. So if you've ever wanted to have direct access to somebody who not only has their own pond and landscaping company, who is a marketing expert, literally like has a master's degree in it, smart lady, check out the $1 Million Academy, because she's going to be holding down the fort for us in there. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, Laura, so we can go on vacation. She is awesome. So total Landscape Marketing Secrets take over while we're gone. And check out her podcast if you haven't as well. We just want to do like a little brief reintroduction to us, because we had our 150th episode here recently, and we kind of skipped over it. But if you've not listened to us before, we're Scott and Katie. We're second generation landscapers. We took over
my dad's.
Well, his parents still worked in it. We worked in it with his parents. Worked there. He's worked in the landscaping business since he was
when I was a teenager.
Yeah, teenager.
Before then, actually.
Yeah. So I married in, worked there for a number of years. We don't work there full time anymore, but because we wanted to have our little business here where we could help business owners kind of skip some of the struggles that we went through. Because we were like every single stereotypical landscaping business out there.
Yep. Yeah. So we just want to share our knowledge with everyone and just share what we
learned all the lessons mostly the hard way.
Yeah.
Like long hard way, like 10, 15 years long hard way, sometimes twice. Yeah. Information wasn't as readily available at the time. Yeah. I mean, we're old. We remember we didn't have like web pages or Facebook pages. Those things just didn't exist in the early 2000s.
Black and white pictures.
20 years ago.
VHS tapes that we learned some things from. And
yes, we used what we had available, but it just wasn't nearly as easy. So now with the magical world of the interwebs, we're like, why don't we just have a podcast, have an academy? Why don't we have this in one location where people can get all the information? So anyway,
it's always a pain trying to go, like, just whatever, give an example, trying to learn how to build the websites for our academy. I had to watch 10 different videos and then try this and this didn't work, try this and this didn't work. So we want to have everything in our academy. It's just like Katie said, in one location where you can just come and learn from our knowledge and our mistakes and not do the same mistakes.
Right.
So that's the whole reason for it. We just want to help people and save them from a lot of heartache and be able to afford things they want to do, like to go on the trips.
Well, landscaping business owners are literally the hardest working people I know. I've never heard of a lazy landscaper. So we're really on a mission for no more broke landscapers. So thank you for listening, so we can be a part of helping you not be a broke landscaper, because we've been that broke landscaper. If you've heard our story of me, I literally cried in the parking lot of a grocery store because I didn't know if our debit card was going to go through. I left the landscaping. We were still working there full time. Oop, I hit my mic. Sorry, talk with my hands. I had left work, and I don't even remember why I had Scott's plow truck, but I did. I was all big and pregnant with our second son, and I pulled up, and that was like one of those aha moments where I was sitting there, and I'm like, I am sitting in the truck that makes us money. We literally make money with this truck, and I'm about to go in, and I don't know if my debit card's going to go through. Like, I don't know if you all have had that anxiety of like where you like put the card in and you're like, come on, just don't, just say approved. So it was really a wake up moment. So I was pregnant with our second son. I'm like, we can't continue like this. We cannot own a business and not know if I'm gonna, be able to feed my kids. That's not a thing. So that's what really kind of spurred us to get our act together. It's because I can't just cry at the grocery store all the time.
And this kind of leads us into our main topic today.
It does.
Do you have any more housekeeping though before?
Well, I just wanted to this comes up sometimes. We named our business $1 Million Landscaper, and I think it confuses people. We are not marketing experts. Maybe had we known Laura, like when we developed the name of the business, maybe we could have done a better job. We called it $1 Million Landscaper. Some people are like, millionaire landscaper. You could teach us to be a millionaire. I'm like, whoa, back up. We can very much help you build your business to that $1 million. If that's how big you want to build it, you don't even have to. Some people are very happy being smaller than that.
Yep.
But a lot of people like aspire to that 7-figure business. We ran a 7-figure business. That's what we are comfortable with. We know that. Yep. $1 million to about 1.8 is as high as we ever got. Yep. And so like if you already have like a $2 to $5 million company, you probably don't need our help. You know more than we do. But if you're smaller than $1.5 million, we are like solid. We can help you out. It doesn't matter what kind of jump you want to make, whether you're making the jump from a side hustle to starting an actual business, or you've been in business for a while and you're just kind of starting to gain momentum and you just need help getting up to 250,000, 500,000, or even if you want to go from the 500 to $1 million, whatever kind of jump you want to make, it's our comfortable range. And so
absolutely, and it's important that you said that, because we get some people that are just confused by the name, and we do apologize for that.
We're not experts. Yeah. I literally was just using it like as a qualifier of like, okay, this is like, we can very much work with businesses and get you to that 7 figures if that's what you want.
Yeah, and if you want to go beyond that,
maybe I forgot that people can't read my mind. I don't know. But anyway, so we just wanted to throw that in since we're kind of reintroducing, and it's our birthday and all that kind of stuff. But
all kinds of big stuff.
Yeah. So what are we talking about?
So you were mentioning a little bit ago about
me crying at the grocery store.
And this kind of leads into
good time in our life.
Yeah, and this is kind of actually just a little bit of a recap of actually our, I want to say our second episode. I think I did.
I actually wasn't on the podcast yet.
No, you
started out doing these all by your onesie.
Yeah, don't go back and listen to them.
They're hilarious. I've gone back and listened to some, and I give it to you for trying. It's hard to just talk to yourself.
Yeah,
so I give it to any podcaster. It's
not natural, like trying to do it yourself, and well, at least for me, it's not. It's not very comfortable. It's just kind of awkward. I'd rather have you sitting here and I could talk and go back and forth, or interview with somebody. It's much easier to do that. But
yes, I'm definitely the more introverted, shyer, quieter of the two. I don't know if quieter is the right word. But I'm chatty when it's just you and me or somebody. Yeah, so I'm way chattier than you. So if you try to listen to the early episodes where it's just Scott, if you say you can't sleep at night and you need something to bore you to death, maybe go ahead and listen to a couple of those episodes.
First couple we did by myself. Those were, but
anyway, moving
still good
on.
Information though. But
moving on.
But anyhow, so yes, this is, I think it was our second episode. I believe I'm correct. But it's what really, like you said, got us to start to look at our business a different way. When Katie, had that incident where she was crying and all upset, we had a serious sit-down talk with us and then my parents who've been running the business for so long.
Yeah, like what are we doing? What are we doing?
Why are we doing? We were doing good on the jobs. We knew landscaping. We did awesome work.
Doing the actual physical business of like physical landscaping was never the problem.
Yeah, and we would and show that we're making a profit on doing our job costing and stuff.
So we thought.
But at the end of the year, we didn't have anything in the bank to show for it. And like, this can't continue, because
we did what everybody else does. We worked harder.
Yep.
We sold more.
Yep. And it's the same thing over and over. And we decided we needed some help. So the first thing we did, we actually had a consultant. I believe they approached us, if I'm correct on that one.
I think they might have, but it was a long time ago.
And this is before the internet was out there.
This was literally they probably came to the office and knocked on the door. Yeah.
So they came and knocked, and my dad spoke to them, he spoke to me afterwards, and we decided, all right, we're going to talk to this consultant and start working with them. So we started working with them, and I don't remember, it was probably the fall time. They started working with us. A few months went by, and we asked them to take the winter off because we snowplowed, and we weren't sure as far as money how things were going to go. So we asked them to stop for the winter time, come back in the spring. Springtime comes around, and we call them up and say, hey, we're ready to come back. No one's answering. No one's answering. Found out they went out of business.
Yes. So maybe we didn't pick the best consulting company, but we did the best we could with the information that we had at the time. There just wasn't as much out there.
No, and we learned a lot of stuff from
them.
We
did not learn anything
and
from
one
them.
of the first things that we learned from them was the fact that we weren't very productive. Our crews were not as productive as they could have been. They were a lot of time just standing around wasted, waiting for us as owners to...
They weren't standing around wasted.
Oh, is that what it said?
They were not drunk. They were not standing around wasted. There was a lot of wasted time.
Yes, sorry.
And that was our fault.
Yes, and so we started looking at things and figuring out, like, okay, what can we do to become more productive? And one of the first things that the consultant pointed out was our time in the morning. It was taking our crews sometimes like 45 minutes, sometimes even an hour to get out of the shop.
It was way too long.
Now I get it, sometimes there's some things that just have to get done, and it is what it is. But this was consistently over and over, and it was like $159,000 wasted. I believe
you heard that correctly.
Yes.
Six figures. We were not even paying ourselves $159,000 a year, yet that's how much we were wasting in payroll from unproductive time. Our productivity was at like 65%.
It's ridiculous.
And the kind of one of the points is we did $1.3 million in sales that year, so we didn't have a sales problem. We were selling enough. For the number of employees that we had and everything we had, 1.3 million should have been just fine.
Yep.
It was our fault for not having the business set up to run smoothly. It was our fault that they were standing around in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was one of the biggest issues, like we said, was just the crews were not standing around wasted. They were standing around wasting time because they didn't know what to do. And it was looking at it now, it's like, wow, we didn't have our crap together at all. And what we found is the crews didn't have the information to get out of the shop quick enough, because they would basically, everything had to funnel through my dad at the time.
Yeah, he was the bottleneck.
He did all the estimates at the time early on. I was a crew foreman at the time, so we all had to go to my dad in the morning. And this is like, I don't remember exactly, but 20, 25 people at the time. And so we're all coming to my dad, asking him, what do I need for this job? Where am I going? Who's going with this? What equipment?
It was a chaotic mess.
And so he has his own agenda, what he needs to get done for the day. So he's just getting stressed out because everybody's coming to him. So we started taking a step back and figuring out what we needed to do to get our crap together to get out of the shop faster. And one of the first things I did was creating a stupid, simple checklist. I mean, it sounds simple, like it's not going to work.
It's not stupid, but it sounds stupid because you're like, how does that help? But just having your tool checklist of what you needed.
This is like the very first thing I can remember doing, and that now looking back, it's like, holy cow, that really started the snowball effect. Started the snowball effect where we just started doing this, and now our crews knew exactly what they needed on the job, what tools, what pieces of equipment, who's going with who, how many man hours the job was figured to do this.
Because not only, you did a tool checklist, but then we took it the next step further and made like complete folders for every job. And that really makes a difference. And if your crews are a little reluctant at first to make these changes, maybe just do the checklist at first and then do a whole job folder. I mean, it's okay to like chunk it down into bits. You don't have to come through and reinvent the wheel and totally revolutionize their days all at once. Yeah,
no, it was just this whole thing. When we started doing that and seeing like how this little piece of paper can really start changing things, and started getting our crews out. Because now we went down to like whatever, we started at like half hour, then 20 minutes, and we just kept getting faster and faster.
The goal was 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 to 20 minutes was our goal to get out of the shop every single morning. And now we started doing a process, like Katie said, we had the folders. We had a schedule board that had where the crew leaders knew exactly where they'd come in the morning, look at that schedule board, knew who's going with them, and it just started this whole snowball effect, and it was a huge drastic change.
Well, because it trickles down, because the crew leader could come in and wouldn't have to talk to your dad.
Yep.
They could just go to get their folder and know what to do, and then they could instruct the team members. And so the crew leader's not standing around. The team members aren't standing around. It really, it just kind of goes down like that.
Yeah.
And then if the leader did have questions, they could go ask your dad. But it eliminated a lot of those. And the better detail that you have in the folders, then the less questions they will have.
Yeah, and it was just a huge change, and that was like what really got us going on. Just that little morning rush, just getting out of the shop so much quicker.
That
made a
was
huge
really
difference.
the first big overall like system procedure
Yeah.
type thing that we did.
And then it's like, well,
What
what
else
can we do
can
now?
we do?
Yeah, yeah. Once you start seeing those changes in that, it's like, wow, what else can we do? So we started making checklists for the guys out, on the job site, so they knew what to do from here. The lawn maintenance crews knew exactly what to do because we just got things in order. We got our crap together.
It sounds dumb to say, but
Yeah.
it's like it was time to be grown-ups
Yeah.
and run the business like a business, not
Yeah.
because you can start out just like mom and pop running it out of the side of your house, running by the seat of your pants, and that'll get you far. But like I
Yeah.
said, we did 1.3 million, and we're still kind of running by the seat of our pants. But it catches up with you and bites you in the butt. So if you want to be more profitable, because our productivity was low, we should have done closer to 2 million
Yeah.
that year, because we paid out enough in payroll to do $2 million worth of work.
Yeah.
But our productivity was so bad that we only did 1.3.
Yeah.
So
So just start taking a look at your business and see what you can do, and just start.
maybe the
making
morning
changes.
isn't your biggest problem. Find your sticking point, because we did then eventually do an afternoon routine as well,
Yeah.
just to kind of systemize how everybody came into the shop, how and where they unloaded equipment,
Yeah.
mowers, garbage,
And just
debris, whatever.
planning of the job itself, like having all the material there, so the guys didn't have to run back and go to here and get this, and oh, I forgot this, had to run to get that. That was a huge change. So
Oh,
just
yeah, it not only impacted the morning, it impacted the rest of the day.
Correct, yes.
Because, part of that problem is if you don't have the morning routine. You did this. Does that mean we're done? Oh, are you telling me to hurry up?
yes,
You just have to say it. Okay. Because part of the problem is then it impacts your entire day. Because if you don't have the equipment and stuff you need, then you're running back to the shop, running back to the shop, running back to the shop. So if you can just incorporate that into your morning will be smooth. Plus, that will set up the rest of your day to run smooth as well.
yeah. So like I said, we challenge you to start taking a look at your business, see what you can do with just a simple checklist, and go from there, and you'll just eventually improve on it and become better and better every single time.
Yeah, pick what is I'd say pick your biggest pain point and go from there. What's causing you the most time or pain in the butt right now?
Yep.
Got questions for me?
Yep. All right. If you had to delete all but 3 apps from your smartphone, which ones would you keep?
I would keep Amazon Prime, my Amazon app. I'm sorry, I order everything because I don't like to go to the store. I would keep TikTok because that is like mindless entertainment. If you need to kill, but you have to have like 30 minutes to kill, because you can't like watch 2. So if I need to kill a half hour, I will honestly look at TikTok videos because I love them and they make me happy. What's the other third one I would keep? I don't know. Does texting count as an app?
Sure, we'll go with that.
I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that would be counting. So I would definitely keep my texting. Other than that, maybe Pinterest. I really like Pinterest. That's where I get all of my awesome ideas
Yeah, it's
that
great.
Scott hates.
It's great.
Because then I want to do things.
All right. What's the weirdest tradition your family has?
You could probably help with this. We still do a shot for my great grandma's birthday, even though she died over 20 years ago. I'm trying to think. She passed away when I was in college. So if it hasn't been over 20 years, it's been close to 20 years. Yet we still do a shot for her birthday every year. I mean, I don't know that it's weird to toast to this, dead relatives. Is it weird? I don't know.
I don't know.
But we still do it this many years later. I don't know why. I don't know how long we're going to continue, but
Probably
anyway,
forever. I
it's
don't
peppermint schnapps. It clears out your sinuses.
It
That
does.
was her favorite drink. She had it. She would have a little shot of schnapps every night. She was German.
So what's left on your bucket list?
What is left? This is the one that people either think this is cool or they think it's really weird. I still have like other places I want to live, and because we both grew up in kind of in the country, so and then when we built our first house, it was kind of out in the country. So I've lived out in the country. Oh, I managed parks for a while. So I have lived like on park sites. I have lived in parks. So I've lived in the country. I've lived in parks. We live in town right now. We moved into like town. So like we can walk to like the library and stores. I wanted to have that like walkability experience. So I now want to move to like a city for a little while because our town is like 23,000 people, I would say. It's not a huge.
Yeah, it's not real big.
It's not real big, but it's not super tiny. So now I want to bump up and move to like a city for a while. And I also want to live in our camper and just travel around for a while. So I want to do that. So I have like all these places that I want to
She's
live
part
yet.
gypsy.
I am a little bit of a gypsy. People either think it's really cool or really, really weird. Because people who like grow roots and never want to leave, I have family members that are like, this is weird. Why would you do that? I would never leave here. But before we retire and like settle somewhere, I figure we will settle somewhere eventually.
Yeah.
But
we've got to figure out where.
I definitely have these other like phases I want to try before we do that. And luckily you're along for the ride because we would love to take, one of our goals is to take $1 Million Landscaper on the road. We want to go travel around and visit people in the academy, visit people that are just even in landscaping business owners Facebook group, visit the other professionals that we collaborate with and just chat with everybody and see what is out there. So that's our goal for once our kids are out of high school. We've got like 4 years to get it together to where we could travel around like vagabonds in our camper for a few years. And
fun.
then maybe we'll live in a city. And then I do want to have a barn dominium somewhere as well with indoor pickleball courts. I have a lot on my mind.
I want.
I know. So I have a lot of ideas.
Maybe
so.
that Amazon app needs to disappear.
Well, these are different than the Amazon apps. That's when I buy. All right, I hope you all enjoyed that little tangent. So.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today. Hope you have a great day.